Hello everyone. Today we are going to start a new topic that is called theory of congruences. I can say that this topic is the core of the number theory. In number theory, you need to master the basically congruences, the symbol represented by this sign, because everything in number theory is dependent upon this sign, congruences. This is most important. We will start by some definition, then we will proceed in some examples, practice questions. The first definition is of the Gauss. What does the Gauss say? According to the Gauss, if a number n measures the difference between two numbers a and b, then a and b are said to be congruent with respect to n. What is the meaning of the definition? The definition is saying that if n is measuring the difference between two numbers, may be possible that n is measuring a minus kb or b minus k. Both are same thing because it is dividing the number. Not necessary that it is negative or positive. It should divide. So n is dividing the number. So if a number is dividing the difference between two numbers, then we can say that a and b are said to congruent with respect to n. That is, I can say that a is congruent to b mod n, or I also can say that b is congruent to a mod n. What is the meaning and how I write this definition? You can understand through this example. If n is dividing a minus b, it means that a minus b is a multiple of n. And if I shift b here, then how you will shift here? You will write here a is congruent to b mod n, like this. It means that when you divide n, then when you divide a minus b by n, then you will get a value. Or we also can say that n divide a minus b perfectly. Here I can say that b minus k a is congruent to 0 mod n. That is, n is completely dividing b minus k a. Here I can say that a minus k b is congruent to 0 mod n. This is the rule, law. What does it mean? That n is dividing a minus k b, and here you are getting 0 as a remainder. This is the remainder. And I can shift anything here. So I can shift b here. So I can write here a is congruent to b mod n. So when you divide a, then you will get the b as a remainder. For example, here I can give you some examples. I write here 7 and I write here 2. Then it will be mod 5. What does this mean? That when you divide 7 by 5, then 5 1 ja 5, then you will get 2 as a remainder. This is the remainder, this is a quotient, and this is a dividend. Understood or not understood? I also can replace the number, not necessary that always on this side a larger number is present. It may be possible that a smaller number can also be present here. That if I write here, let's suppose 2, and here if I write here 3, and I write here mod 5. No. Wait. Uh, 1 is congruent to 4. 1 mod 3. I can write like this. The reason is this: when I divide 3 by 1, then you will get the minus 3 as a remainder. So here you can see that if I shift to 4 here, then it will be 1 minus 4 is congruent to 0 mod 3, because 1 minus 4 is basically minus 3, and minus 3 is divisible by 3. So remainder will be 0 mod 3. You understood this concept or not? Now come to the next point. Theorem. For arbitrary integers a and b, a is congruent to b mod n if and only if a leave the same remainder, same non-negative remainder when divided by n. Here they have mentioned if and only if. So I need to suppose the equivalent part of both. That is to show that if a is congruent to b mod n, then a and b leaving the same remainder. And the next part is if a and b leaving the same remainder, then a is congruent to b mod n. So I will go first by considering, let us consider a is congruent to b mod n. That is n divides a minus k b, or a minus k b can be written as a some multiple of n for some k belongs to z, and here k belongs to some integer value. Now what they are saying that we have to show that to show a and b leave the same remainder when divided by n, that the remainder of a is equal to remainder of b. We have to prove that when divided by n. Okay. So here I am considering that when I divide, let us consider that when I divide b by n, then I am getting r as a remainder. R as a remainder. Let r be the remainder. R be the remainder when n divides b. It means that if I use dividend theorem, then I can say that b can be written as a n q plus k r. You know this concept, na? Division theorem, division algorithm. Now consider this equation to be equation number 1. Now put this value in 1, put in 1. That is, this was actually a is equal to b plus k and k. Now this is equation number 1, okay? So here I can write the b value here, nq plus k r and plus k n k. So here I can write a is equal to nq plus k n k. I can take common nq plus k plus k r. So a is equal to n, and I am considering the quotient plus k will be as a k dash plus k r. Here I can see that a is also getting the remainder r when divided by n. This was the proved. Hence proved. Understood or not understood? Basically, the portion here is a remainder. This portion is a remainder. Nq, Nk, and R is the same portion here. Understood or not? Now, in the converse wala part, we are considering that the remainder, let a is equal to n q1 plus k r and b is equal to n q2 plus k r. Basically, the remainder are same. To show that a is congruent to b mod n. Now from the equation number and from equation number 2 and 3, if I subtract the third equation from the second, then I will get a minus kb is equal to n q1 minus q2 plus k0. Here I got that a minus kb is a multiple of n. I am considering here q3, where q3 is equal to q1 minus q2 for some q1 q2 belongs to z. Understood? Now I can say that here that a minus kb is congruent to 0 mod n, or I also can say that a is congruent to b mod n. Hence proved. If you have not understood, then please see this video again and you will understand more, or I can say 100% when you write with me. Understood? So if you have noted down, then I can proceed for further. And in the next part, we are going to do some examples. So let us move in the next part.